Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic in Java known as tokens in Java. In this full we will discuss token definition, types of tokens, literals, punctuators, separators, escape sequences, variable or identifiers, operators, data types, assignment operator, keywords and comments. In this slide, we will discuss about token. Each individual unit used in a Java program is known as token. Here you can check one example, x equal to a plus b into 4. So in this example, x, a and b are a type of token known as variable. Equal to is another kind of token that is known as assignment operator. Plus is known as arithmetic operator. Multiplication sign also known as arithmetic operator. 4 is known as integer literal. Semicolon is known as punctuator. So each individual unit used in a Java program is known as token. So in this full example, in this full expression, we have 8 tokens. Now we will discuss various types of tokens: literals, punctuator, separator, escape sequences, variable or identifier, operators, data types, assignment operator, keywords and comments. First of all, we will discuss about literals. Literals are also known as constants in Java. Their value remains fixed throughout the Java program. Any constant value which can be assigned to the variable is called as literal or constant. We have different types of literals: integer literals, floating point literals, character literal, string literal, boolean literal. The value which remains fixed throughout the Java program is known as literals. Now first one is integer literal. Literal which contain numeric value without decimal point. For example, 2, 34, minus 2345 and 987789. These 4 are the examples of integer literal. Their value remains fixed throughout the Java program and these values does not contain any decimal point. Next type of literal we have floating point literal. The literal which contains numeric value with decimal points. Here you can see the example: 0.092, 3.4, 0.23.45, 98.7789 are the examples of floating point literal. Floating point literal means literal which contains decimal points. Next we have character literal. A character literal is represented as a single alphanumeric character which is enclosed within a pair of single quotes. Here you can see one example: small a is enclosed within a pair of single quotes. 9 is a digit symbol which is also enclosed within a pair of single quotes. So it is not a number, it is a character literal. Why it is a character literal? Because it is enclosed within a pair of single quotes. Next one we have string literal. A string literal is represented as a single character or more than one alphanumeric character which is enclosed within a pair of double quotes. Here you can see the example: a single alphanumeric character we have small a, but it is enclosed within a pair of double quotes. So it is not a character literal, it is what? A string literal. Next we have SHS, it is also enclosed within a pair of double quotes. Next we have one name that is also enclosed within a pair of double quotes. That's why it is known as string literal. Next example you can see, in that example we have alphabets also, we have special character also, we have numbers also, but all are enclosed within a pair of double quotes. That's why it is whole, it contains what? A string. So again I repeat, a string literal which contains more than one characters or one character which is enclosed within a pair of single quote. Now next we have boolean literal. A boolean literal are used to represent true value or false value. A boolean literal is either true or false. These keywords are not case sensitive. A boolean literal always used to check the condition. A boolean literal always have two possible values, true and false. Next we have punctuators. Punctuators are punctuation signs used in Java programs. There are four types of punctuator: question mark, colon, semicolon and dot. Here two more important punctuators we are frequently used in programming, that is semicolon. Why we are using semicolon? It is used to mark as a end of statement. It is also known as statement terminator. Java statement must be end with a semicolon. Next punctuator we have dot. It is used to assess the method of a class with the help of its object. So it is also a kind of punctuator. Next we have separators. These are some special symbols used to separate statements. We have small braces, we have middle braces, we have big braces and we have comma. The small brackets are used to write mathematical expression. If one expression we want to separate with another expression, we have to use small braces. Curly braces. If we want to write a group of statements enclosed within a pair of curly braces. Big bracket, square bracket, we are using to represent an array. And the one of the most important separator is comma. Comma, it is used to separate variable. Whenever a user want to declare more variables of one data type, it can be separated with the help of comma. Next we have escape sequences. In Java, a character preceded by a backslash is an escape sequence, and all the escape sequences has a special meaning to the Java compiler. First one is backward slash followed by a single character n. It is used to insert a new line. Next we have backward slash followed by small t, that is used to represent horizontal tab. If you want to give some space in between the two words, we have to use backward slash t. If we want to put double quotes in between the text, we have to use backward slash followed by double quote. If we want to insert a single quote, we have to use escape sequence backward slash single quote. And keep in mind, all the escape sequences we have to write in double quotes. So escape sequence are what? These are some non-graphic characters which is used to do some special task in Java programming. So always a escape sequence is preceded with backward slash. Next we have variable or identifier. What is a variable? A variable is a name given to a memory location where the data is stored for a limited period of time. Or you can say it's a temporary memory location. You can see in this example, in the first line we have declared and initialized the variable a with 10. In the second line I have initialized the value of a by 11. So what happened? The previous value is washed out from the memory and the new value came in the memory location. Again I repeat, a variable is a named memory location which stores the value temporarily, and the value of the variable is keep on changing. Next we will discuss very important topic, that is known as initialization of a variable. What is the meaning of initialization of a variable? Assigning a value to a variable is known as initialization. Here you can see in this example int a, that is known as declaration of variable. In the second line we have written a equal to 10, which means it is initialization of a variable. There are some rules to be followed by the user while declaring a variable. First, it must not be a keyword. Second, it must not begin with a digit. Third one, it cannot have space between it. Fourth, it should not contain any special character. Fifth, it can have any letter or alphabet, digit, underscore and $sign characters. Sixth, it can be of any length. So here in this I have made one table. In the first table these are the valid variable declaration. In the second table these are the invalid variable declaration. Next, identifier. In Java programming, identifiers are used for identification purpose. In Java, identifiers can be a class name, method name and variable name. So we can say that a variable also a type of identifier. Now next concept we have operators. These are some special symbols which is used to perform operation with operands. So for that we have to understand operands also. These are symbols which is manipulated by operators. You can see here one example, 1 plus 2 equal to 5. Here 1 and 2 is operand, plus is operator. Next example you can see two strings are there, AB plus CD. So here what's going on? Concatenation of string. So the value of operands is manipulated by the operators and the result came ABCD. Now we have types of operators. So depending upon the operands used, we have three types of operators. The first one is unary operator. The operator works with single operand is known as unary operator. Second one is binary operator. Operator works with two operands is known as binary operator. We have three types of binary operator in your syllabus. First one is arithmetic operator, relational operator and logical operator. The third type operator we have ternary operator. Operator which works with three operands is known as ternary operator. This full operators chapter we will discuss in another slide. Now next concept we have data types in Java. What is data types? Data types specifies the size and type of values that can be stored in a variable or a identifier. We have two types of data types, primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Primitive data types are also known as fundamental data type and non-primitive data types are also known as reference data type. Again, primitive data type we have two types, numeric data type and non-numeric data type. Now next we have primitive data type. The data type which is independent is known as primitive data type and basic data type. There are of two types, numeric data type and non-numeric data type. The numeric data type are those data type which deals with numbers. It is of two type, integer primitive data type and fractional primitive data type. Now next we have integer primitive data type. The data type which deals with numeric value without decimal point. For this we have four types of data types and dear students, we have to remember their size and default value. To store a numeric value without decimal point, we have four data types. First one is byte. The size of byte is 8 bits and the default value is 0. The second one is short and the size of short is 16 bits and default value is 0. Third one is int. The size of int is 32 bits and default value is 0. Fourth one we have double and the size of double is 64 bits and its default value is 0. So these all data types are used to store a numeric value without decimal point. Next we have fractional primitive data type. Whenever a user wants to store a numeric value with decimal point, then we have to use fractional primitive data type. The data type which is used to store a numeric value with decimal point. Here we have two types of data types. One is float, the second one is double. And the size of float is 32 bits and the default value is 0.0f. Next we have double data type and the size of double is 64 bits and default value is 0.0t. Next we have non-numeric data types. Non-numeric data types are those data types which deals with non-numeric values, and here we have two types of data types. One is character and the size of character is 16 bits and the default value is /u and 4 zeros, which is enclosed within a pair of single quotes. Next we have boolean and the size of the boolean is 8 bits and the default value of boolean is false. Next we have non-primitive data types. The data types are also known as reference data type. These data types are created with the help of primitive data type. That's why these data types are also known as reference data type. The example of these data types are class, arrays, interfaces, and string. The next concept is keywords. Keywords are well known as reserved words in Java. Keywords are special words which have some special meaning in Java programming. These words we cannot use as a identifier in our program. There are 51 keywords in Java. So here I have written some commonly used keywords for you, like boolean, break, byte, case, character, class, continue, do, double, else, final, float, if, import, int, long, new, public, short, static, switch, void, while, for, and many more. And dear students, there are some keywords till now they have no use. In Java there are two keywords are there which having no use in Java programming. They kept as a reserved word. Next concept is Java comments. Java comments are the statements that are not executed by the compiler and interpreter. The comments are the non-executable part of the Java program. The comments are used to describe the program. The comments can be used to provide information and explanation about the variable, method, class, or any statement. The next we have types of comments. The first one is single line comment. Whenever a user wants to describe any of the code of the program within a single line, then he has to use what? Single line comment. And single line comment always start with 2 forward slash. If a user wants to describe the code more than one line, then we have to use what? Multi-line comment. And multi-line comments is represented with forward slash followed by asterisk. Then you can end whatever number of lines you want, then again asterisk forward slash. The third one is documenting comment, and the documenting comment is used to write the document. In this we start forward slash followed by 2 asterisk, and we will write any of the document in any number of lines, and at the last we will close with single asterisk followed by forward slash. Again, the comments are very important part of the Java program. Comments are used to describe the logic of the program. At last we have assignment operator. Assignment operator is represented with equal to sign. Assignment operator is used to assign the value to a variable. This is the simplest assignment operator, which is used to assign the value on the right to the variable on the left. This is the basic definition of assignment operator. And how does it work? It is shown in the example. You can see here int a equal to 10. What is the meaning of this? Equal to is known as assignment, and 10 is assigned to the variable a. In second example, char ch equal to y. Character y is assigned to ch variable. So what is equal to? Equal to is what? Assignment operator, and assignment operator is used to assign the value to a variable. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.